Hey crafty people, welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Oh, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to have a bit of a play with alcohol inks, and so I've got my glass mat out, and so I apologize. I know there'll be a little bit of glare, but I need light to see, so yeah, sorry about that. Now, what we're going to do today is a technique I saw Tiffany Solorio do, and then when I was first playing around with it to see how I could get it to work, I came up with a variation on that. So that's why I've got two pieces out. And for this one, since I'm starting on Halloween stuff, which if you're not Halloweeny, you can use whatever colors you want for this. I just picked out 3 colors and I'm using Sunset Orange, Citrus, and Purple Twilight. And in addition to that, what you're gonna need is either blending solution or 91% isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol to get the pigments moving. All right, so in addition to your inks and your alcohol for blending, and I put my alcohol in a needlepoint little bottle. I got these on Amazon because it just gives me more control. I'm also going to use my Tim Holtz blowing tool. If you don't have one of these, you can use a straw and just blow through the straw. Just be careful, you'll eventually get some condensation in the straw, so just watch out for that so you don't get it on your project. I've also used like a nasal aspirator that you use with babies, which I don't know what I did with it. I may have gotten rid of it. And there goes my dog, because I found it a little harder to use than the blowing tool, which I got on sale. Or you can use, I have an airbrush for doing like nails. I've also used that with blending my alcohol inks. This one gives you the most control over this one, but either will work. So those are your options there. And then you're gonna need some circular objects that are plastic, and so I picked these up at the dollar store. They're little like shot glasses for doing like desserts or shots at a party kind of thing. And then this one's from Takeout Food. So yeah, you're gonna need a couple round ones. I picked these up at the dollar store as well, and I'm gonna give those a try as well. I figure I could use this side and this side for it. And then like a shallow dish, or this is like the cap off of something that's bigger than your whitest piece that you're going to be using for the technique, like wide enough for that. So I'll explain what that's for in a minute. We're going to start with Tiffany's version, which basically what you do is you put down your piece. Oh, and I'm using I think it's Impresa. I forget what the full title of it is. I'll leave the information in the description down below. You can use the Tim Holtz alcohol ink Yupo that they sell. You can use regular Yupo. You can use whatever you want a plasticky paper designed for use with alcohol inks. So I'm going to start with my first one, and I'm going to just put a line around the edge and wait a second for it to dry. Kind of feel like I've got the fan going to the side of me, and I should shift it over to there to get it to dry. You can use a heat tool. Just be careful you don't shift your cup. And then once it's dry, what we're gonna do, this, I don't know that it loves the heat, but we're good. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put alcohol on the outer edge, like so, and shift our color out from the circle. I'm just moving around my circle and blowing the alcohol ink back and forth to get like the really cool wispy look to it. Come in over here and like just try and break up some of that darker area a little bit more. And I'm going to take my smaller one and go over here. And let's go with the sunset orange. And repeat my process. Ooh, that got a little more than planned. All right, so I'm just going to wait and let that dry. While that's drying, I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to take my little dish that I've got. Can you see the dish? You can just see it off on the side of the screen. Actually, I can shift this way a little bit. I'm going to put isopropyl alcohol in this. Woo! Try not to drop it and spill it everywhere. And what I'm going to do is take the cup that has the green on it, dip it in, and stamp it down, and then blend that out. I'm gonna tap in again, maybe go here-ish. This one I'm gonna be a little less concerned about keeping my circular shape. Like I've got a little overlap going on over there, but yeah, since you want to clean this off before you use it again with a different color, because otherwise you'll get, you know, if I put this down and did purple without cleaning it off, I'd get a mixture of the purple and the green instead of the pure green. So let's, with that, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit more, and then while it's drying a little bit longer, we'll dip this one in. And kind of curious about doing that. Maybe that. Ooh, got a little bit of splatter. That's okay. This is just gonna be cool, funky backgrounds. And if you wait too long and it doesn't move enough, you can always just add a little bit more. And yeah, we get in drip spots and all that sort of thing, which is fine because it just adds a little bit more interest to. So this one's gonna get you a way wispier version because we're diluting our ink by dipping it in the alcohol. And yeah, I'm gonna have inky fingers. Kind of wanna get this to move a little, so let's add a little rubbing alcohol. All right, now let's work on this one now that it's drier. Pink. Definitely want to go purple next. Just trying to decide. I think I'm gonna go there. That was an accident, but that's all right. we'll work with it. All right, so I gave that a little while to dry. Like, I turned off the camera and let it dry for a little bit. And now I'm gonna let it dry a little bit more and we can play with this one on our second piece. I'm just taking a paper towel and wiping off the rest of the excess that is on there. And let's see, let's move this guy around. And I'm just going back and forth because that kind of keeps it contained in a particular area, but like it's how you get all the various lines is by blowing and letting it dry to create the line and then shifting it. And I don't know that I'm explaining that very well, but hopefully you can see what I mean in the results. Gonna lift some of that off because if you get too thick of a line, it tends to rub off. All right, let's see. I want to do some more on this because we've got too much white corners going on here, and I'm like, do I want to do green here, orange there? And so maybe, yeah. And there's a little part of me that kind of wants to do a purple inside the green. So I may do that. Now I'm just doing kind of like thin lines without bothering to move it around, just to add a little bit more interest to this guy and to use the ink that's on here. The bigger one for the orange. I don't think this is cleaned off enough, so let me just dip it and that. It should get blown a little. Just blowing that one out a little because the purple gets a little pinky unless you like blow it around when it's like that thin. Again, gonna wait a sec. Lift that up and let that dry, and while it's drying, play around on this one some more. Last thing I'm gonna do is a purple, and I'm gonna use the smaller one. And I'm gonna do it up in that corner. I'm gonna give that a second to dry. While it's drying, we can add a few more on here. bit more on there than I want. So I'm just going to take my paper towel and tap a little bit up. Alright, let me grab a blank piece of paper just to cover up the mess on here so we can see what these guys look like. So we got that one and that one. Love how these came out, they're so cool. And what we can also do is I'm gonna grab my Tim Holtz splatter brush, drop it in the rubbing alcohol. Do it over here as well. So you can see when it hits, it just causes the alcohol to shift away from it. So cool. I kind of want to try and get some more color splatters on this one. I'm going to set this one aside. What I'm going to try doing is wetting the brush, dipping it in to this. That worked pretty good, although I don't know that I've got enough green to do it on the mat, but we definitely have some purple we can splatter on. Might be able to get a little bit of the green. Now, I wouldn't splatter around if you're using the blending solution, because that's got resin in it, so that sticks to whatever it hits, including, you know, if you're inhaling it because you're splattering it, or if you get it in your eye or anything like that. But the isopropyl alcohol is safe to do that with. So there's that one. I really love playing around with alcohol inks. All right, I'm gonna have a bit of a cleanup and then we're gonna give this one a try. All right, I'm gonna stick with the same color scheme. I'm just kind of curious as to how it's gonna work with something that's not round. So we're going to start with purple this time on this one. Again, gonna let that dry. While it's drying, we can play on this one. That's kind of cool looking. All right, let's do a small one up here in green. I really like having a second one to work on while the alcohol ink's drying on the other one. I feel like it needs a little bit more orange, so what I think I may do is just try putting a little on the... Ooh, that's probably more than I need. Alright, so let's see what those look like without any distraction behind. They're really cool. Like that one, I think what we need is, let's grab a piece of black cardstock so you can see what that looks like. And like that. And it's a lot of fun. I have so much fun playing with my alcohol inks. Alright, so let's put our pieces out. We did that one, and then that guy, and then this is with the square one. So there you go, playing with your alcohol inks and plastic containers that you can squeeze the alcohol ink around and then blend it out. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting.